Ain't nothing wrong with you, just remember you're special. Feeling hopeless and alone, just remember there's always God there to be there to help you. Put in effort, make mistakes, no one on this earth is perfect. Trial and tribulations both in life are guaranteed, but in the end it's all worth it. I'm hoping and I'm praying. This is something relatable and the words are beneficial when someone out there can understand what I'm saying. Mind, muscle, motivation. Let's stop playing. Share it with the nation. What they do though? Welcome. It's mind, muscle, spirit, motivation. Again, that's mind, muscle, spirit, motivation. Thank you for tuning in. My first time peoples. Don't turn to that channel just yet. Listen to what your boy has to say. Give me about 15-20 minutes of your time. This is all about self-discovery. This is all about getting better together forever. That's my mantra. So let's see what we have to talk about today. Wanted to see, I want you to ask yourself, what kind of spirit do you have? What kind of energy do you have? What kind of energy do you like the most about yourself? For example, what gets you going? Are you driven by adrenaline? Are you a competitive type of person? Do you have a competitive type of spirit? Are you driven by fear? Are you stopped by Are you stopped by fear? You get the gist of what I'm saying. So this video is just about discovering that and really helping you find and figure yourself out when it comes to what type of spirit do you have. The spirit that I believe you're supposed to have, a spirit of peace, love, and of sound mind, a non-intimidated spirit. That is the spirit spoken in the book. And I use quotations. Of course, I'm talking about the Bible, people. Of course, when it comes to questions, I always try to ask a question that me, myself, already has an answer to. And I tell myself that I have a warrior spirit. I try to have a warrior spirit. Now, what does that mean to me? I'm not talking about a person that you throw anything against. I'm just going to crush and kill it. That's what I want to have. Now, do I have it? No. Why don't I have it? That's not me. That's not for me to answer to you. That's for me to answer to myself and figure out. But I want to have a warrior spirit. And I also want to have a spirit of peace, love, and of sound mind. And of course, having a spirit of no intimidation. Those type of qualities I seek to have into my spirit. I want to have a spirit that's pushed by fear, not stopped by fear. I've said it before and I will continue to say it. I absolutely despise being afraid to do something. And I'm either going to manifest it, I'm either going to think about it so much to where it happens, I'm either going to really picture myself physically in that position to where I'm eventually put in it. For me, that's happened a few times. One I shared with you guys, and of course that's me having to walk to work. But I'm absolutely pushed by fear. I don't let it stop me. And I want to have a true spirit of a warrior and not a worrier. I do think that we all end up having traits and qualities into our spirit that we don't want to have. But I also believe that once we do come across those traits and those qualities into our spirit that we don't want to have, I know for a fact that you don't have to sit there and settle for them. They may come into your spirit, but you don't have to let them stay in your spirit. So being worried, being stopped by fear, those things may happen, but that's when we have to analyze ourselves and be able to notice when it happens so it doesn't happen again. So even if you are a person that worries, even if you are a person that's stopped by fear, whatever that fear may be, even if you are a person that's driven by competition, there's nothing wrong with it. But I believe that the biggest and the greatest competition is yourself. Now, while I'm on the subject, you can only be competitive for so long when it comes to other people. And that's why I never believe in being the greatest, because you can become the greatest. But once you are the greatest, that's when you stop trying to get better, because you're already better than everybody else. So the biggest competition should be yourself. So enough of that. So we can have a combination of all of those things into our spirit, all of them. Now it's just up to you to pick and choose what it is that you want to have in your spirit. It's up to you to pick and choose what you want to keep and what you want to get rid of. And that's the absolute greatest thing about us as humans. We can evolve, we can change, we can adapt, we can get better. That's what separates us from, actual animals. They are who they are, but we as people, we can change who we are. We don't have to settle for, what we may be. We don't have to eat meat all of our lives. We can be a vegetarian. You get what I'm saying? But in the energy that you give off, I know for a fact that the spirit I have, I don't always show it. Does that mean that I truly have the spirit that I have since I don't show it? Absolutely. Because I'm a type of person that I don't show my true spirit around everybody. And that reason being is that I'm not, let me say this delicately, intellectually, as best as I possibly can. The spirit that I'm around, it can jeopardize the spirit that I have. It can. I'm not saying it always does. And I'm not saying it doesn't, but it can. And I'm aware of that. So the spirit that I have inside me, I don't let it be shown. I don't let it be known to everyone, because it can dictate what I do. And the spirit that I have inside me isn't always reciprocated in the way in which I would like for it to. So the spirit that I have deep down inside of me, there's only a very few people that have seen it. And believe it or not, I can be outgoing, I can be fun, I can be liked, believe it or not. I like to laugh. I can also be a comrade to you. I can be an enemy to you, but come on. What reason would I? But I'm not counting it out, because that's just something that I can be. But that's why I don't let myself known to a lot of people. That's why I don't let myself known to everyone. Like I said, there's only very few people have seen me laugh. Really laugh. Laugh in a way in which my voice cracks, or I let out that high-pitched laugh with my deep voice. It sounds weird. And only very few people have seen me vulnerable. I'm not talking about just complaining. I'm talking about genuinely vulnerable. So yeah, but that's why I'm not always myself around people, because I don't like using this word as you all know, but I can't be because I know I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be because I can't be. And that's why I think that's probably the biggest reason why I'm such an introvert. I have to revert back to that. It's not so much that I'm shy. I'm older now, so being shy is not something that's really carried in me anymore. I'm just very selective because of the fact that I'm always I'm not always looking out to people who get me. That's not the type of spirit that I have in me, because that's a type of narcissistic trait that I think is pretty much what carries that. Always thinking it's about you. I know when I think that way, I'm aware of that, but I can read people's energy, not people, but I can read their energy. I don't have to know you, just how you carry yourself when you're with me. I've said this before also, people have many split personalities depending on who they're with. Me, I try to keep that same personality. I try to keep it neutral. I'm not going up or down, I'm staying right there. That's what I try to keep around people. And like I said, depending on how much I know you, depending on how comfortable, depending on your type of energy, I can probably go up a little bit, but for the most part, I'm staying right here. Because again, I don't want my spirit, I don't want my energy to be jeopardized by other people's lack thereof. So, for the most part, like I said, I'm neutral, and that also means that I'm just chill. And if I'm at work, I'm gonna work. So that's what you're gonna get from me. I may have a certain type of vibe or a certain type of energy that lets you know I'm not trying to talk. One thing that I now know, I like to listen to music. I like to listen to podcasts when I'm at work. So a lot of times when people are talking to me, or when a person does try to talk to me, I'm just saying, yeah, I'm just agreeing. And they're looking at me like I'm crazy, and it's because I'm not really listening. So I think that right there alone, it says everything. But I guess some people, they just give me the benefit of the doubt. And now, the fact that I can sit here and I can say that about myself, it can be said about other people too. So that doesn't mean that you're, an asshole, or you think your shit don't stink and you're better than everybody, because that's not me. But I can also give off that type of energy. I can give that type of, vibe. So me now saying that the type of energy you give off doesn't necessarily mean that it's what you represent. So did I pretty much contradict what I said just now? No, because I'm saying that I can read people's energy if I have to be around you. Now, if I just come across you, if I just look at you, I'm not trying to really figure you out, no way, because I'm probably not making eye contact. So I'm a very focused, I've used these words before many times, probably almost in every video now, but I have a very missionary, tunnel-like mindset. So I'm a very focused individual. So what do I look like? I look like I'm very focused. I look like I'm very locked in, and that's what I pretty much am. So I'm very focused, and that goes back to the warrior-like mindset. The warrior-like mindset, the warrior-like spirit, to me, it's just being focused, and it's just getting what needs to be done. It's not somebody who looks mean, who looks all big, rough, and rigid and gritty. That's not what I'm talking about. I think people are so, people go by such, people have to see. In this day and age, we go by what we see so much. So when I say warrior, people like, oh, that's why he works out so much. He's trying to be big. No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. It's just a person who, if something needs to be done, they get it done. It's a person who, if they say they're going to do something, they do it. It's a person who has goals and gets what needs to be done. That's all I mean by being a warrior-like spirit. So that's what I try to be. So again, I'm very locked in and I'm very focused. And if you can get me outside of that, then you'll see the happy, laughable. I guess I'm not always down to earth, but you'll see the other happy part of my spirit, because I am a happy person. I just look like I'm so locked in, but I'm happy. I am. That's also the unfortunate part of people who are so focused, and you can actually tell that they're focused just by how they look. They're always assumed to be unhappy. They're always assumed to have something going on or something bothering them, and that bothers me. You know, that's a peeve. That gets me peeved, if that's a word I can use. Because a lot of people are just focused. A lot of people just want to get what needs to be done, and it doesn't mean that you're unhappy or something has happened to you or you're walking around with so much weight and that you're burdened, and that doesn't mean that. We have to get away from that. It's not a stereotype, but we just got to get rid of that type of judgment that we're giving people, because it's just not the truth. But ask yourself, what type of spirit do you have? And some people have a spirit of consumption, consuming. I definitely don't want that. And what do I mean about consuming? Giving. Not giving, but taking. Just take. Consumption. I mean consuming everything that comes into their pathway. I'm talking about consuming of attention, consuming of instant gratification, consuming of all the things that aren't good. I try. TRY, all caps. I try not to have that type of spirit. It is hard because life, the world, there's so much consuming and there's so much consumption, and some of it can be addictive. I don't have to go into detail because, if you're mature enough, I'm not even going to have to say old enough. If you're mature enough, you already know what I'm talking about. So I try not to have a spirit of consumption, but a lot of us do. And even if we don't, when we do, it's hard to break. People, the only reason why I'm shaking like this is because this is what I do for my feet. Hopefully I'm showing it. Tennis ball. Anytime I'm sitting down, I'm doing this. I have flat feet, but I run every day. I jump rope every day. So, yeah. So I don't want y'all thinking that I'm having some type of episode or I'm trying to break dance while I sit down. So, and then some people have a spirit of need of validation, need of attention. I guess that goes hand in hand with consumption, but obviously it's a different word you could use. So I try to be very solid and secure in who I am and what I do, what I represent. But who doesn't like a pat on the back sometimes? I do believe in modesty, but who's going to turn down a compliment? Who does that? If anything, that kind of makes you arrogant. If you turn down a compliment, you should always be modest, but you should also be grateful and thankful. So I do believe that you can receive a compliment as long as you don't let it get to your head, of course. And that's another thing, having a spirit of just not greed, but of just, a spirit of just I don't know, just entitlement, I guess. And that goes with being given so much repeatedly to where you just think it's what's supposed to happen. And that's why I try to keep myself going, whatever it may be. That's why I try to keep myself going. And just having that spirit, again, of consumption when it comes to money. Let me tell you something, people. And I know it can be a very big mistake. It can be a very big detriment. But I know I'm a hard worker, right? And I know God has put this type of spirit in me. Now, let me definitely think about my choice of words before I say what I say. I know I'm a hard worker. And what people want to explain and give a description for hard work is being at work, where you have to make money, right? I don't agree with that. I don't. Because I'm a hard worker when it comes to anything and everything. And God has given me a spirit of growth, a spirit of wanting to be better so much to where I'm a hard worker at work. Once again, I'm a hard worker when it comes to supporting and providing for my family, but I'm also a hard worker when it comes to working on myself. And I won't ever lose myself when it comes to working on a job, when it comes to working on a job from 9 to 5 to where I'm neglecting the people, the things that are most important to me. It won't ever happen. And the only way it'll happen is if I'm working for myself, because I won't have no choice, because I'm my own boss. But as long as I'm working on a job from 9 to 5, I'm not saying I'm not giving you my all. I'm not saying that I'm going to half-ass it, because I never do. But I won't ever lose myself. And again, I only say lose yourself because people, we all know a job is important. Duh. When you have a family, when you have a mortgage, when you have bills, you gotta have a job. You gotta have money. But people get so caught up in their job to where they get caught up. They lose sense of life, and all they think about is money. And then they base not only their happiness on money, but the happiness of others. And when you have a family, yeah, money is great. You can get what you want, but to me, time, that's what's most important. And my time has always been given to others more than that of myself. I can say that with the utmost confidence because I'm always thinking about other people more than myself. I will risk sleep. I will risk being at my job, literally, for someone that I love, that needs my presence, that needs my support physically there. So that's for me, that's where the spirit of love, peace, and of sound mind comes from, because you got to have those things in order to do that, what I just said, or at least I think. So this video is about just figuring out what type of spirit you have, what type of energy you have, what type of energy you give off. And I do think that the spirit that you give off, the energy you get off, is going to be the energy that you receive. So that's why I don't have a lot of people around me, because it takes a lot to get my true spirit and my true energy out of me. And I'm just pretty much laid back and nonchalant, and that's why, that's an intimidation for a lot of people. And if you're not an intimidating person, I guess that's when you can allow yourself just to keep giving me time to bring out my true spirit. So for those of you that have done it, for those of you that have seen me laugh, uh, seen me joke around and all that good stuff, hey, hey, hey. But yeah, it's Mind, Muscle, Spirit, Motivation. Hopefully you like this video. Hopefully like every video. I ask that you like, subscribe, share. I'm all about building a community, and hopefully I am, for people who want to get better, for people who want to grow, for people who just want to take in different suggestions and ideas and different ways to where they can apply it to their life, or where they can just try to use it for even just a day of their life, just to get better and just to be better than their best selves every single day. So if that's you, hey, spread the word. Again, like, subscribe, and share. We're going to keep these videos going every single day. All three qualities, all three traits of this channel, the muscle, the spirit, and the mind, that's what I'm trying to dive into every single day. So until next time, y'all, stay blessed, stay prayed up, keep trying to get better every single day. Peace.
Being a winner is a curse. Doesn't matter how much you've won before, you're not a winner until you win again, and again, and again. Nothing is enough. No one understands, and you never want it to stop.